The Aethera drifted silently through the abyss, its metallic hull gleaming faintly against the light of distant stars. Inside the cramped cockpit, the soft hum of life support systems filled the air, a background melody to the faint static of interstellar radio. Captain Elena Voss sat in the command chair, her posture rigid, hands clasped tightly around a steaming mug of synth coffee. The mug's heat seeped through her gloves, grounding her as she stared out at the infinite void. "Incoming signal," Tasha Ion's voice cut through the silence, clipped and precise. She sat at the communications terminal, her dark hair tied back in a severe bun, ice flicking between screens. "Coordinates attached. It's distress grade." Elena turned, her sharp features hardening. "Source?" Tasha hesitated. "It's coming from the Arcturus, advanced research vessel. Officially decommissioned 3 years ago. Last recorded location? Here, near the edge of that." She gestured toward the primary display, where the black hole's event horizon swirled like a malevolent eye. A low whistle came from the other side of the room. "And here I thought this was going to be a quiet trip," Liam Ortiz muttered, leaning back in his chair. The engineer's easy grin didn't quite reach his eyes as they flicked to the display. "What's a decommissioned ship doing playing dead, that close to a gravity well?" "That's what we're about to find out," Elena said firmly, rising from her seat. "You can't be serious," Meera Patel interjected. The medical officer's voice was calm, but edged with unease. "This is a salvage run, not a rescue mission. If the Arcturus has been drifting for 3 years, whatever's left on board isn't going to be worth the risk. A distress call means potential survivors," Elena replied, "and salvage laws mean potential profit. We can't ignore this." "We could," Alexei Komarov grunted, arms crossed. The towering salvage specialist had a perpetual scowl that deepened as he nodded toward the display. "Black holes don't play nice. One misstep and we're part of its light show." Elena's gaze swept across the room. "We've dealt with worse. This crew's been through asteroid fields, ion storms, and derelict ships full of traps. We're professionals. If anyone can do this, it's us." A tense silence followed, broken by Finn O'Connell's nervous cough. Captain? Permission to speak freely?" "Granted. It's just..." Finn hesitated, shifting in his seat. "The black hole isn't going anywhere. Why would someone activate a distress signal now? And why'd it take 3 years for us to hear it?" Elena didn't answer immediately. She turned back to the primary display, her jaw tightening. Finn had a point, and it wasn't one she wanted to dwell on. "Prep the ship for approach," she ordered, cutting through the tension. "Liam, check the reactor. Tasha, I want a full scan of the Arcturus as soon as we're in range. Meera, ready the med bay in case there are survivors. Alexei, inventory the EVA gear. Finn, plot us the safest course to the signal's origin. Let's move." The crew scattered to their tasks, leaving Elena alone in the cockpit. She sank back into her chair, staring at the ominous glow of the black hole. Her reflection in the viewport looked as tired as she felt, lines etched deep around her eyes. There was no time for doubts. They had a job to do. Hours later, the Aethera closed in on the Arcturus. "No visible damage to critical systems," Tasha reported. "But something's off. Hull integrity's reading at 90%, but there are weird fluctuations in the energy signature, almost like interference." "Interference from what?" Elena asked. "That's the thing. It's not external. It's coming from inside the Arcturus." Alexei snorted. "That's comforting. Docking sequence initiated."
Connection established,
Finn announced, his voice cracking slightly as his fingers danced over the controls. The Aethera shuddered as the docking clamps engaged, locking the two ships together with a metallic groan. "All right, team," Elena said, standing. "Gear up, we're going in." The airlock hissed open, revealing the darkened corridor of the Arcturus. The crew stepped inside, flashlights cutting through the gloom. The metallic walls were pristine, save for the occasional scorch mark. No signs of life, no signs of struggle, just silence. "Stay close," Elena ordered, "and keep your comms open." As they moved deeper into the ship, the silence became oppressive. The Arcturus felt wrong, like it was holding its breath, waiting. Liam glanced over his shoulder, his voice low. "Captain, you ever get the feeling you're being watched?" Before Elena could respond, a faint sound echoed through the corridor, a whisper, soft, indistinct, but unmistakable. "What was that?" Meera asked sharply, her grip tightening on her medkit. Probably just the ship settling, Elena said, though her voice lacked conviction. Let's keep moving. As they continued, the whisper grew louder, more insistent. Words began to form, fragments of sentences that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Help me. Shouldn't be here. It's not safe. Crew exchanged uneasy glances, their steps faltering. Eleanor's jaw clenched as she raised her flashlight higher. Focus. We'll figure this out when we reach the bridge. But deep down, she wasn't sure if they wanted to know the answers waiting for them.